Hello everyone, I'm Jiao Yang Wu and my student ID is 1086866. I would like to share my learning experience from the past few weeks in the ECEC100 course. During this time, I have gained knowledge about historical and contemporary series, methods, and frameworks, which has sparked me some reflection and insights into the field of early childhood education. And now I'm going to present the content I have learned and my thinking of it. About historical theory, I was mostly impressed by John Locke's theory. He believed that young children do not have innate characteristics, but are influenced and shaped by the surrounding environment, people, behavior, and education. There is also have a saying in China which calls parents are the first teachers of their children. I think it is similar to Locke's idea. They both emphasize the key role of parents in children's early education. As a preschool teacher, and I think this theory has helped me to make positive guidance for children's behavior and emotional expression. After I searching for peer-reviewed articles and relevant journals, I found that many scholars believe that Locke's blank statements emphasize the experiences and influences of the senses in the development of early childhood education. And he also mentioned that the three important elements in education, which is moral, psychological, and physical. The concept of children as blank states remains a widely held view and a reference point in many fields and disciplines. This view has led most people to believe that children can be shaped by their environment. However, with the deepening of the teaching practice and the emergence of the growing number of theories and methods, there are some critics argue that the view overlooks the innate aspects of human beings and that education alone cannot fully shape these talents or tendencies. And when I looked for the contemporary approaches and theories, I found that I took constructivism as the theme of understanding and learning to design early childhood education methods. I searched for relevant theories around it and found that constructivism and interactionism are very suitable. Piaget has a process of logical construction developed over time. Until the age of 2, children primarily learn through their senses. Learning involves such as observing the surrounding environment and objects, touching surface, and using objects. From the age of 2 to 7, children use objects to understand specific concepts and compare with them. For example, children can observe the lengths, widths, and heights of tables in the classroom. After the age of 7, children begin to gradually move beyond abstract concepts and develop the mature logical thinking. And I think this is a good example that children can then express their feelings and opinions about the objects they interact with through words and symbols. Another one is Vygotsky contributes the social development theory, which emphasizes that educators should focus on the process of children's growth and development. This theory emphasizes the role of children's social interaction and the continuous growth and learning through the events. Murphy in 2016 mentioned that the Vygotsky theory still has a great influence in the field of early childhood education. Through the example of two schools practicing, he finally obtained positive feedback. And another series is interactionism, and humanistic theories also have similar with Vygotsky's views. Gong in 2017 studied the transition from individual cognitive constructivism to social constructivism in early childhood education in New Zealand. He believed that interactive learning and educational practices are becoming increasingly important for early childhood education and worthy of study. However, there are also some criticism on reflections about constructivism that we have to be aware of. And about framework, the early years learning framework and the national quality standards together form the framework for early childhood education in Australia. On the EYLF positive children as confident and engaged the learning and encourage educators to create an environment that supports the holistic development of children, and the NQS emphasized the importance of fostering sustainable thinking in children from an early age and encourages teachers to foster a sense of responsibility. I also searched a lot of examples of how schools and teachers implemented the NQS and EYLF. In social events, the national quality standards has had a positive impact on the regulation of family daycare and early childhood education and care. Whether it is the positive result brought by NQS or the actual challenge faced in the education process, I believe that it can bring some inspiration and reflection to education practitioners and schools. And in conclusion, after researching materials and case studies, I believe that children's independent characteristic and independent thinking skills remain the starting point and ultimate goal of many activities. And I personally agree with increasing children's interest through interactive play and sensory experience. But at the same time, complying with the framework and system is also something we as teachers must pay attention to and do in our daily lives. And this is my presentation and my learning of the past few weeks. Thank you for your listening.